Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today y'all see I am putting up my boxes. I got a shipment in a couple of days ago, but I never put them up, and I'm also going to just rearrange the closet that I put them in. I know it looks like these boxes are light, but y'all, these boxes are extremely heavy. These are like what is it, 6 liters, 3 and 6 liter fluids. So there's like these really long boxes. I don't know if y'all can really tell, but they have 4 3.5 liters in them, and then there's boxes and then there's boxes like these regular ones that's right here in the camera. They have 2 6 liter fluids in them. So y'all, these bags and boxes are extremely heavy, especially the ones with the green tape on them. They have some fluid that it has like a red tape on the box. That is the heaviest of the fluids. I don't use it because I literally weigh $105, so I don't really need that one. So I either go between the yellow and the green. Y'all, I'm just counting, trying to figure out which boxes are going to go in my room to see which boxes I'm using first, because I put a certain amount in my room so it's easy for me to access, and then I just keep the rest right here in this hall closet. That small box right there has my supplies in it that I use to like clean my catheter and stuff like that. So that box goes in my room into my containers. And that is it, y'all. Hey y'all, so today has been a pretty eventful day. And if y'all hear screaming or yelling in the background, y'all, that's my brother on the game. He act like the game is happening to him in real life. I don't know. I guess that's a gamer thing, because I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I be playing games, if I'm playing like a zombie game or a shooter game, yeah, I be screaming. So I get it. But if y'all hear anything, that's him. But y'all, so today is a Monday, right? Yeah, today is a Monday. So remember, y'all, yesterday was the Super Bowl and I was supposed to record y'all on my way to the Super Bowl party that I was going to, that I was telling y'all about. My car stopped on me again. So little backstory the last 3 years, the last 3 years, I've been without a car, without a vehicle. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Yeah, so the last 3 years I've been without a car because I've been like super, super sick. I haven't been able to work. And y'all will get that story time on here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But I was finally able to get a car in 2025, the new year. Not only that, it was an early birthday gift for myself. My birthday was on January the 29th, and I was so excited about it. The day that I purchased the car, they said that they had to keep it to service it, and I was like, okay, cool, because I would rather y'all, I'm putting my money into this. I would rather y'all give me a car that's, or I would rather y'all fix everything on it so I won't have to, constantly keep coming up here, because I did get a pre-owned car, and y'all know with pre-owned used cars that you will have issues eventually. But the moment I picked up the car, so I bought it on January the 6th, and I picked it up on January the 9th. I picked up the car, getting on the freeway, headed home. The tire pressure was low. Like, one of my back tires the tire pressure was like at a 24, and the light was on saying that there was an issue with that tire. Not only that, when I made it home, turning right, or like I backed into the right, and there was this gritty grinding sound on my car. I'm like, yo, I just bought this car. Not only that, when I test drove it, there was nothing wrong with the car. The test drive of the car was fine, and I drove pretty far in the car, pressed on the brakes, did everything that you should do during a test drive. Perfectly fine. Perfectly good, normal car. And I don't even think, I'm gonna be honest, the car that I test drove, I don't even think it was the same car that they gave me. I think they switched them. But, yeah, so picked it up, was having issues on the 9th. I had to call and speak with the manager because the salesman that I was speaking with, they just were not the greatest. Like, in that moment, purchasing the car, they were great. But then after, they were just horrible. Bad communication. Everything was just horrible because I was working with two salesmen. One salesman was saying that, oh yeah, well, the reason why I kept the car was, oh yeah, we're gonna replace your tires and replace your windshield wiper blades. Never replaced the tires, never replaced the windshield wiper blades. Then I had the other salesman. He was saying, oh yeah, no, they never replaced the tires and this and that. They have to replace this and that. They have to change your brake pads and your rotors. Okay, cool. So now I have two different salesmen telling me two different things. And then on top of that, when I did like the following, this was like the 8th, and I was calling, I was like, hey y'all, what's going on? Y'all told me that the car was going to be ready on the 6th at 6. Then y'all said it was going to be ready on the 7th at 12. Then y'all said, oh, give us by the end of the day on the 7th. And so, okay, here's the 8th. Y'all, what's happening? What's going on? And then the salesman that told me that they were fixing the tires and replacing the windshield wiper blades said, oh well, yeah, there was just a couple of more things that they had to service. They need to wash it and gas it, and so yeah, we're gonna make sure that we get it to you by tomorrow at 6. Y'all, they were giving me the literal runaround. I don't know if it was like the service guys that weren't telling them everything that they were doing specifically, or if the salesmen were just making up stuff for why the service guys had to keep the car. If they would have been honest and said like, yo, this car is just not sellable, or it has so much that needs to be done to it, would you like to get another car? I would have been perfectly fine, because the car, I have a 2021 Ford Bronco. I would have gladly picked something else, okay? Because even when I went to the dealership, I told the guy, when he came out to me and my uncle, I was like, he asked like, oh, what are we looking for today? I was like, well, I was looking at the Ford Bronco online, but I'm open to any of the other cars on the lot, because I didn't see the Ford Bronco at first. He was like, okay, yeah, no problem. Let's go see if it's here. So it was here, but it was in a bag because they never did an inspection on it, and they never serviced it. So which was why it was in the back and not out. And I didn't think about it at the time, because I would have said, okay, well, that's no problem. I can go find another car. I didn't really think about it because they were really pressing to get that Bronco. They was like, no, we're going to get it and work it out and figure it out. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, y'all. And then a couple of weeks, that following week, after I got the car and I was supposed to take it in, that's when the winter storm had happened. So couldn't take it in. And then I had to go back that following week, or that next week after the winter storm in Houston. Excuse me. And what happened? So I made an appointment, but then my schedule kind of got like overlapped, so I had to like try to reschedule. I was calling like, hey y'all, I can't, I won't be able to make. Nobody like would answer, but I was trying to call them to let them know like, hey y'all, we're gonna have to like reschedule for a different day, because I had so many doctor's appointments, y'all. I had so much going on, and I forgot that I overlapped my schedule. But my doctor's appointments are way more important, because the car was still drivable, and even the service manager, he said that yeah, it's still drivable, you can still drive on it, it shouldn't hurt or harm you or anything. And I was like, okay, cool. So being though he said it was still drivable, that's why I was like, let's just push it another day. So another day, I kept contacting them to say, hey, trying to reschedule. No one answered the phone. I couldn't get in contact with nobody. Every time I spoke to someone, they'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I'll make sure that they call you so we can get that done, rescheduled. Never heard from nobody. So that following week, and now we're at the end of January. This was like a day or two before my birthday. Maybe like the 26th or the 27th. And I went to go pick up my cousin from school. On our way, taking her home, I hear something flapping on the car. It didn't sound right, so I turned the radio down just to listen as I'm driving. It was really light. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is. Maybe something got stuck under the car, but let's just see what happens. And so there was a stop sign that I got to. Stopped at the stop sign completely. Then when I went, the flapping got louder and louder and louder. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? Like, is there something under the car? Like, what's happening? So as I'm continuing to drive down the road, my battery light came on, the engine light came on. Not only that, the car ran hot. It went all the way up to H, and the temp gauge light came on. And I'm just like, what is happening? What is going on? And so when we got, there was a light, like literally we was right around the corner from my aunt's house to talk to my cousin off. We were right around the corner. I stopped at that red light, tried to go, car would not go. I was like, oh no, please. I was like praying to God, oh God, please, we right here. Let us make it to their apartment. So the car let me drive. It wouldn't go above 20 miles per hour. And so when I got there, my cousin got out the car, and I'm sitting, I'm like trying to call, okay, like what do I do? Do I keep the car on? Do I turn it off? And then I had looked on Google, like if the temp gauge light is on, it says to like make sure you cut your car off. So I like quickly cut it off, and I was calling, my uncle. I was calling the dealership to let them know, hey, I got a bigger issue than what was going on with the car at first. So not only do y'all have to fix that differential, because that's what it was, a differential, which is why my car was grinding. Now y'all gotta fix what's going on and why my car won't drive. So I called them, and they were like, okay, yeah, we're going to get it towed out. And so I had to go. I was able to drive it, but not far. So I drove it because my aunt's apartments, they ghetto over there, okay? And because I didn't have a license plate, they would have towed my car being in her apartments, even if it was parked in the visitor's parking spot. So I had to drive it around the corner to my cousin's house, left it at her house. The car was sat at my cousin's house for like two days, I think, before they came and towed it. And then they just been giving me like the hardest time. And so now, what is this? They picked the car up maybe on my birthday, January the 29th. And I didn't get my car back until the 31st, no, the 1st. Because they didn't start working on the car until the 30th because they had to order the part. So come to find out that my belt broke on the car. And so they were like, it's no problem, we'll, because you're under warranty, we can order your part and we can get that fixed and taken care of for you. And I was like, okay, cool. And I asked him, like, so once y'all fix this belt, I'm not going to have any other issues. And he was like, no, you shouldn't have any other issues, but we're going to make sure once we put that belt on that we're going to, like, service your car and make sure that everything else is good. Okay, perfect. They were supposed to call me to let me know, hey, your car's ready. I ended up having to call them on the 1st, like 4 o'clock in the evening. Why do I have to call y'all for y'all to let me know that my car's ready? Like, y'all should have called me as soon as it was ready, like y'all said y'all were going to do. So I ended up calling found out my car's ready, so I had to hit my uncle up. Hey, yo, they said the car's ready. Let's go pick it up. So we went and got it. My uncle was like, start the car up, pop that hood. Let's make sure that they did what they were supposed to do. He was like, okay, everything looked good. Like, press on the gas, like drive it. Make sure you don't hear nothing. He said, don't ride with the radio on so you can hear for any sounds or anything. So, when I took off, I did hear like a little squeaking, but I was like, that's just the car. But the next day, so now we're at February the 2nd. So this was the next day, start the car, and all of a sudden the car just starts shaking. I'm just like, bro, I just got this car back. So the car was shaking, and I was like, okay, well, maybe the belt just needs to like get used to the car, like it needs to like do its thing. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna give it this day. From the 2nd to today, the 9th. No. Sorry, today is the 10th. From the 2nd to the 8th, every time I got into that car, it shook. Even if I was just sitting in park, it was just shaking like crazy. And I'm like, okay, like, did they not fix the car? Like, what's wrong? And then the 9th comes, headed to the Super Bowl game or the Super Bowl party. And the car does the same exact thing. I hear some flapping because I went over down this road that has rocks, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just like the rocks, because it sounded exactly like rocks under the car. And I get to the light and I hear the rocks like going crazy again, and I'm like, okay, because it didn't sound like the flapping before, but it just sounded like a bunch of rocks. So I'm getting on the freeway. As I'm getting on the freeway, battery light comes on, engine light comes on, temp gauge light comes on, car runs hot. So I'm on the freeway going about 15 miles per hour. Literally, like the gauge was in between 10 and 20, y'all. And sometimes it would go up to 20 a little bit and then go like right back down. And I was on it, which was so unsafe because it was cars like zooming by me, bro. Zooming by me. I had to exit because I was like 8 minutes away from the if I would have stayed on the freeway, I would have been 5 minutes away. But I had to exit. When I exited, it was saying that I was 8 minutes away from the house where the party was. So I called my aunt to let her know. I was like, hey, like, I'm over here on this street, like over here by my grandmother's house. And she was like, okay, just like make a U-turn, but you're gonna have to get back on the freeway to get to my grandmother's house. I was like, oh, I don't think the car gonna let me do it. So y'all, I was praying. I was like, God, please, 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 just let me get to my grandmother's house. Come on. I was talking to the car. I was revving the car. I was like, come on, baby girl, let's go. You got this. You got this. Y'all, as I'm on the freeway. Well, first off, the car almost stopped twice because I ended up being at 2 red lights before I got on the freeway. It almost stopped twice, and I was so glad that it kept going. It would allow me to go. Y'all, I'm on the freeway. I'm driving I'm like right under 20 miles per hour. There's an 18-wheeler coming on the freeway. Now, y'all know 18-wheelers ain't that fast. He was trying to beat me. I was like, in my head, I'm like, I cannot stop this car. I cannot stop this car. I cannot stop in the middle of this freeway. If this car stops in the middle of this freeway, I'm stuck. And so I was like, y'all, I was this close to being hit by the back of the trailer on the 18-wheeler. I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh no, like, oh, please, 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 please. And then luckily the 18-wheeler, like, when I say it was this close, y'all. I would have been out of there. So 18-wheeler passed me up. I was like, whew, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father. And so my grandmother's exit was like, it was 2 exits away, y'all. Had the what is it? The 2 signal lights, the safety lights, or whatever y'all call them. I don't know what they call them. But those lights was on, those flashing. People was like speeding by me. They was like getting from behind me and like jumping right in front of me. I'm like, y'all, obviously y'all see that something is wrong with my car. Like, well, people just be rude for no reason. But finally made it to the exit. As I got to the exit, y'all, there's a light. It was red. I was like, oh, no. So I was like slowly trying to go through it so I wouldn't have to completely stop. I ended up having to completely stop because there were so many cars coming. As soon as that last car went, I was like, okay, come on, let's go. Y'all, when I say it was turning so slow, it was turning so slow. So got down the road. I was able to get down the road. I ran about 4 stop signs. Cause my granny, oh my gosh, my grandmother stays in the back of the neighborhood. I was like, I wish she stayed in the front. I literally had to pass. I drove through 4 stop signs And there were so many bumps to go over, so many turns I had to make. I was like, oh Lord, please just let me make it, just let me make it. So we finally made it. Or I finally made it, and then like as soon as I made it, my uncle pulled up, and we popped the hood, and he checked. He was like, the damn belt came off again. So then I had to send a long message along with pictures to. They have like a number that you can text if you ever have any issues with the car. So I sent a long message. I sent pictures of the belt, and because this was a Sunday, so they was closed, so I knew nobody would be able to respond to me. So I had to wait until today. I was calling all morning, couldn't get in touch with nobody. And so I had an eye doctor appointment today that I could not miss because I have an eye surgery coming up. So my mom was able to pick me up, and she was able to take me to that appointment. My grandfather picked me up and took me to the dealership, which was all the way in Katy, off Katy Freeway. So went to the dealership. I'm sitting around. We were at the dealership from like 12 to 3, I think, or 12 to almost 4 o'clock, waiting on answers. And they were consistently, like the manager that I was speaking with, he came over. Well, first when I got there, I went to the service side to let them know like, hey, y'all need to go pick up the car, get it towed. So they got that taken care of. So they're supposed to be picking it up tomorrow morning. And I went back. The service manager was telling me that, yeah, they're gonna have to like trade you out of your vehicle, so you need to go talk to Eugene. Eugene is the manager. So I went back to wait and talk to him because he was busy with other customers. So when he finally came to me, as soon as he sat down, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to trade you out of that vehicle. I was like, yeah, I've been telling y'all that, because I've had 5 things go wrong with this vehicle, and I've been up here 3 times just for y'all to fix it. And not only that, I don't think they realize that there's a law in Texas, the lemon law, that states that if you have purchased a new vehicle, whether it's brand new or pre-owned, and it's a 2019 and above, they have no choice but to either reimburse us or replace us or replace the car. And so what happened is they had to do what's called a flat cancellation, but they won't do it. The finance company that's financing the vehicle for me, they were telling me, yeah, they have to be the ones to initiate that. That's only something that the dealers can do on their end. And so Odu was like, yeah, you're gonna have to fill out the application again and just go through that process. But yeah, we're gonna have to get you out that vehicle. Okay, cool. So I fill out the application. He goes and does whatever it is that he does. I did not hear from him the rest of the time I was there. He sent one of the salesmen over to keep communicating to me. He never came back. And they kept saying that, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. And I was like, yes, y'all can. Y'all can, because there would not be a specific word with a definition for what y'all can do if y'all couldn't do it. And it wasn't that they can't do it, they didn't want to do it. And so the salesman kept going back and coming back with different information. So the first time was, we can't trade you out. Do you have another co-signer? I said, no, I don't have a co-signer to help me with y'all. And so he went back to tell the manager. He came back, well, we can't, there's nothing that we could do. The only thing we can do is fix your vehicle. I said, no, y'all can. It's called a flat cancellation, and y'all can get me out of this vehicle. I've been told that several times. Yes, y'all can. So he went back, came back, and he was like, well, the only thing we can do is trade you out. Exactly. That's what I'm sitting here trying to do. He was like, yeah, we can buy back the vehicle, or like buy it back from the finance company and just trade you out of it. Okay, that's what we're sitting here doing. Y'all go figure it out. Go get that together. Then he comes back again. I'm sorry, we can't trade you out because they ran me and my uncle's credit so many times. I don't know what my credit score is right now. So because they kept running our credit, we weren't like eligible to get the car. And so I got on the phone with the lending company, the finance company, and the lady was telling me that, no problem, let me give them a call to let them know like what they can do. I was like, okay, perfect. So she calls. So remember how they were telling us that they can't do it? The manager told the lender that they don't do it. So now y'all are giving 2 different answers to 2 different people. But the good thing is that the lender, they have it's a recorded line. So if you're calling them, they record every conversation. And I also record conversations myself, because this is ridiculous. This is crazy how many times I've had to call up there, how many times I've had to go up there, how many times I've had to bring my car to get fixed, for y'all to fix stuff on the car. But so I was telling the salesman, I was like, well, we're gonna get a lawyer involved, because y'all are choosing not to do something that y'all by law have no choice but to do. So as the sales, like, I walked off because the salesman was really pissing me off. So I walked off and I continued to talk on the phone with the lender. And she was telling me, like, she was like, yeah, he kept telling me the same thing, but he also said that they don't do it. And I was telling her, well, he told me that he can't. So now they're telling two different answers. So it's not that they can or don't, they won't. That's the thing. And I feel like they were pressing this car on me because they really didn't want the car. Like, why would you have a car like in the back? I feel like they keep the cars in the back that's not worth selling. But also too, why would you have that car as a main car on your website for people to purchase if it's not purchasable or sellable? So I finished talking to the lady. The lady told me, she said, the only thing that I can suggest to you is to let them fix the car, and when you get the car back, because she asked, can you drive it? I said, no ma'am, the car is not drivable. The car is sitting in my grandmother's driveway. The car is not drivable at all. And so she was like, okay, because I was going to suggest maybe you could go to another dealer and trade it out that way. I was like, oh, I can do that. They were telling me that I had to like wait to refinance. She was like, no, you can go to another dealer and they'll take that vehicle off your hands. I said, okay, cool. So she was just like, let them fix it. Let them fix that part. Let them fix that part. And once it's fixed, just take it to another dealership and just trade it out. I was like, okay, cool. That's what we're going to do. Because they were acting like they just could not. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm about to leave the longest review on their website. The longest review. So, and again, like the salesman, also I didn't tell y'all, the salesman kept saying, oh yeah, the manager's going to come out. He's going to come out and talk to you. Sat there for 2 hours. The manager never came back to talk to me. So I took things into my own hands. I was like, okay, no problem. So I already had a lawyer on standby. Emailed the lawyer I went to go grab the service papers for the service report of everything that they did on the car from the time that before I got it, from the time that I got it to the time of from the last time I had to fix it, and then now I'm gonna have another service paper from them having to fix it this time. On for a lemon law, if you have to have taken the car at least twice, you have a case, and I've taken it 3 times. So I have a really good case. But yeah, so I emailed the lawyer all of the paperwork, and so yeah, hopefully by tomorrow I hear back from somebody. But not only am I gonna sue them, but I'm about to trade that car in, because it's ridiculous. Like, I'm having to interrupt my life for y'all not being able to fix the car. And if it's not fixable, then just say that. But also too, y'all aren't trying to find a way to help me for real. They keep saying that, oh, we can't, or we don't. No, just say that y'all won't or y'all don't want to. Just say that. Just be honest. Like, salesmen, I'm not gonna lie, are the fakest people. They are the fakest people, and they are such liars. So, but yeah, that has been literally my day. No, that's been my month, y'all. My birthday was even ruined because I didn't have a car on my birthday to do what I originally wanted to do. Yeah. It's been so crazy, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been staying positive because I know when things like this happen, God has something bigger on the other end. And so that's just what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for my bigger blessing. So I'm just gonna let them do what they do, and I'm just gonna go about my day. But I will never refer anybody to them or ever go back to that dealership again. So yeah, y'all, that was like a little story time. Yep. Crazy. It's crazy. It's like you do so much good or try to do so much good and stuff just be happening. Crazy stuff just be happening. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is a test to see how I do and how I come out of it. And I'm here for it. I'm ready. But yeah, y'all, I will update y'all on what happens next video. Well, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this little tidbit of story time on my car. I love y'all. Peace.